I don't know. I don't know anything about social media. You're supposed
I know, but I sent you the outline. I'm giving you a chance to talk.
You're not supposed to give away our secret. Hi guys, welcome to Marketing Beat. I'm Ameet, and I didn't laugh this time. And I own a PPC agency in Edmonton and Vancouver. I don't know.
Do you know what you do?
No, apparently.
Oh.
And this is my co-host.
I'm Beverley Theresa. I'm a social media consultant based in Edmonton, Alberta, and I help businesses not suck at social media marketing.
Yay!
You're hosting.
Today we're talking about how to plan social media content.
Ameet, do you know why it's so important to plan your content?
Because it's hard to do it every single day?
Exactly. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so basically, from personal experience, because I do social media management for some of my clients, it's annoying to every single day, let me try and think of something to write that sounds good. So I get writer's block, and it's really brutal. So if you can plan ahead, you can take more time in creating these posts and put more thought into them and eliminate that writer's block. You can avoid gaps in posting. So, oh crap, I forgot to post yesterday about our event that's today. Oh no, I'm going to get in so much trouble. You avoid that because you already have that planned out. You could have an event in October, and today you could be posting or publishing or scheduling the tweets that around that event that's coming up in October, even though it's April. You just want to make sure that you have a plan in place, or else you're just kind of wasting your time on a day-to-day basis, just posting off the cuff, and you're probably missing important messaging, and you're missing opportunities to actually get your message out as well. And it also, when you have a specific product or service that you're promoting, you can see the mix of what percentage of your content is promotional versus what percentage of your content is educational or engaging. So you're not overly promoting because you can see it right in front of you in a schedule on a calendar or in your social media management tool. You know that, okay, that's a good balance. I'm not just selling this product or selling this service all the time. It also helps with social growth. Posting consistently will get attention of your followers and new audiences, and they know that, oh, okay, XYZ restaurant is still open because they're still posting. Whereas if you see some Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts that restaurants have just kind of ditched or they forgot about, you're like, is this restaurant still open? Can I go eat there? Do they still exist? Even if it's something you just post Easter weekend, we're open these hours, or we are open on Monday, something like that. But if you're not sharing that information, lots of people don't want to call places, and they might just stop at a different restaurant, which happened to me. But because I'm I'm not calling them, they should have it on their social. So I went and ate pierogies somewhere else. That's why planning is so important, guys. After that, you want to make sure you create a custom editorial calendar. But before you do a custom editorial calendar, you need to know where your audience is, and that comes back to your marketing plan or your business plan in general, who's your ideal client, where are they hanging out on, what are they doing there, who are they talking to, what kind of content are they looking at. And it might just end up being that your audience is only on Facebook because maybe you are targeting an older crowd, 50 and over, and they only use Facebook or something like that. So you don't want to waste your time being on Snapchat if you're only targeting older people or seniors, you want to make sure that you put the focus where your audience is. So that's where an editorial calendar can come in handy as well. So you have a high level view of what's going on this year or this month. And then you also have like, okay, I'm going to post a tweet about XYZ. I need to take a picture of XYZ to go with that tweet, or I need to get our graphic designer, or I need to go on Canva to create this graphic to go with that tweet. It's all about how much stuff can you prepare now so you don't have to put the work in later, and you can kind of go about your day and like run your business instead of being like, oh, I forgot to tweet about XYZ. I feel like it's common sense, and a lot of people will be like, oh, that's just common sense. Like, you want to make sure that you plan ahead so you don't have to worry about it later. But it's like, how many people actually do this? Like, you actually need to take the steps to execute things. And think about your posting strategy for each platform if you're doing more than one platform. Is Instagram more about your work culture and like the staff who work there and the activities you guys are up to? Or is it more about showcasing your work or like your portfolio? You can use different platforms for different reasons. And then is Facebook going to be like your all-in-one where you talk about your work culture, your work that you do, like your portfolio stuff and links to external websites? So, I mean, so Ameet hates that I do this, but I use Instagram just like as my own personal thing and kind of like, hey, here's stuff that I've done today, but also like the feed is more like, here's some professionally work that I've done at speaking here and like doing this shit. But I don't actually use it as a client generating tool, but Ameet says that I should. Okay. But I use Twitter and LinkedIn more, and LinkedIn more so I've been using it on the back end instead of actually posting lately, but you just walk away. And then Twitter I use to just like stay in front of my audience and like have fun with my followers. So you want to make sure when you're starting your editorial calendar, start by indicating monthly or daily themes that come up. Mark down any product or service launches that you have, or events like open houses maybe, or maybe you're working as an affiliate for someone. You want to make sure you have all of that planned. Making sure that like if you have team members, you're delegating them these tasks that they need in order to complete these social media posts like graphic design, Canva, etc. And then figure out, like, you should ideally, I don't, but you should ideally have your blog post planned, or like what the topic is. So then you know that, okay, I'm publishing X blog post on this day. I need to make sure I have X tweet that promotes that blog post or announces that it's out as well. There's lots of free templates you can get online for editorial calendars. Just look up social media editorial calendar. Or if you can't find one, let me know and I'll send one to you. And then creating brand guidelines. This is really important. I know that some people don't focus on their brand as much as they should, like their colors and their typefaces and their fonts and their messaging. But it's important because you want to sound consistent across all of your profiles. So it's much easier for me and Ameet to sound consistent on our profiles because we're just ourselves. But if we were like a corporate or like a medium-sized business, we want to make sure that if there's more than one person who's actually tweeting or posting to social, that there's a consistent tone and voice that they use. And maybe it can even be as simple as we use 1 exclamation point per tweet. We don't use two, sorry, Andre. We don't use 2 exclamation points in a tweet, or we don't use 1 exclamation point after each other, or something like that. Like, that is so like simple, but that will keep you consistent. We use emojis, maybe we don't use emojis. We sound really professional, or we sound plain language, casual, but also still professional. Like, there's this whole thing that you need to build out for your brand. And I always say, like, think of your brand as a celebrity. That might be the easiest way. So is your brand George Clooney, or is it Miley Cyrus?
No, she's hot too.
She's hot too, but they present themselves in different ways.
That's true.
Right? So thinking about what your brand is like if they were a celebrity, and like a common celebrity where everyone who manages your social understands what that means or what that entails. And even like color schemes. So if you're creating graphics for your blog posts or social posts, making sure you stick within your color theme of your brand. And so when they go to your website, it's like that consistent feel. So not using a different purple or using like, I don't know, neon green or something. And I'm like, really, I love neon green. And I was like, I want to find some way to work it into my brand, but I can't. So I'm just like, okay, makes me sad. But yeah, so I just stick with my purple. And then hashtags, I could go on about this forever, but make sure that they're targeted and they're strategic, and you're not just hashtagging every single word like some other social media managers like to do. So hashtag Sunday, hashtag brunch, hashtag Monday, but it's like your restaurant only services Edmonton, or this tweet is about your Edmonton location. Hashtag Sunday isn't going to do anything, because who's looking up Sunday? Anyone in the world is looking up Sunday. Maybe hashtag Yeg food, because Yeg is Edmonton, and like Yeg food is something that Edmonton people would be specifically searching for or trying to find information on. So hashtag brunch, hashtag Sunday does nothing, okay? Please stop using stupid hashtags. There's a blog post coming about that soon. Even like down to the fonts that you use in your images as well as colors. Make sure that you prioritize events that are important. So prioritize events, yes. Because you want to make sure that all the important ones, like say you have a book launch coming up, or say you have a new product that you're going to be selling or a new service that you're offering, you want to make sure that you have content built around those. I always like ask my clients, what events do you have coming up? And those are the ones that I focus on for them first, so that I make sure like, hey, I made sure to do these posts around the open house on August 23rd or whatever it is. And like book releases, that's important too, or any like new product releases. No matter how small it is, you want to make sure that you have content planned around it. And like think outside of the box too. So it's not just social media, but like, okay, let's say you're an author and you have a book release coming. Can you get on podcasts that are related to whatever your book is about? Can you do like some in-person book signings, and like think ahead, not only in terms of social for marketing, but also like offline and other digital marketing tactics too, besides just social media for announcing your book release or your product launch. I have personally like a printed out calendar, because I'm more inclined to look at it than my like Gmail calendar. So it's totally up to you, like what you find easiest, but make sure that you have that all in a calendar ahead of time, so that you know when you're glancing at the calendar, you know that you have to do posts around that, or hey, this is coming up. Did I remember to schedule posts for it?
Okay.
And then kind of mix it up as well. Like you can use different visuals or different media for content. So like YouTube, blog posts, video posts, community events, if you're doing that. It doesn't always have to be like just use social media. Obviously, you would use social media to promote podcast episodes or blog posts that you've written or your YouTube videos, but thinking more like, what kind of media can I post with these tweets that talk about this event that's happening? So do I want to make a video of what my upcoming product is about, or what my upcoming book is about? Do I want to promo me being on this person's podcast more? And just kind of think outside the box on how you can do those things. With photos, one note, it's really important to use legal photos. So I know that some people don't like using stock photos, but there's stock photos out there that are legit and they actually look like lifestyle photos. And they're not just like someone going like this on a white background or something. Like I use those photos to be funny, but you want to make sure that if you found a photo that it is like there's no license attached to it or whatever it is, you want to make sure that it's not for editorial use only. And you make sure it's high resolution, but also make sure that it's optimized. If you're using it on your website, it's not like a 1 gigabyte photo or something, because that'll take forever to load. And as Ameet can tell you, because I know that she wrote something about this somewhere, about page speed being really important as a factor that Google takes into account, page speed, right? So making sure that you use a high quality photo, but it's not 1 million megabytes.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's not do that.
Yeah, don't do that, or else Ameet will find you and then kill you.
People literally drop off pages if it doesn't load within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So now ours does that too.
I hate those preloader things too.
They're annoying. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I remember drop off too.
I remember my old website had a preloader, and I was showing Adriel Michaud like it, and I was like, "Look at my cool website," and he's like, "Ditch that preloader. It's gonna like make people bounce from your site." And so now I'm like, "Oh yeah." So whenever I go to websites with preloaders, I'm like, "The fuck is going on? Ditch this preloader," and I just pretend I'm him. Or hire a professional to take your own photos. You can even hire a professional to take your own stock-like photos. So maybe it's not even of you, but it's of places around Edmonton where you know, like your audience hangs out at. You can also outsource it, like besides hiring a photographer, hire a graphic designer. There's actually some graphic designers that aren't $1 zillion, and obviously you get what you pay for. But you can also use Canva if you wanted to create some of your own images. Pexels and Pixabay.com are really good and Unsplash.com are good resources for specific non-stock photo-y looking pictures. Remember that social media and digital marketing is always changing. So you have to keep up with the trends, and you have to figure out what's working for you and figure out what's not working for you. So when Snapchat was all popular, the one question I kept getting asked was, should my business be on Snapchat? And it's like, well, who's your audience? If you're targeting older people, no. And I remember sitting in on this webinar of this lady in Edmonton, and she was like, someone asked her, should my business be on Snapchat? And she was just like, my kids don't use Snapchat, so probably not. And I'm like, you don't even know who their target audience is. And I was like, bah. Speaking of shade throwing, that was years ago. So I don't know if that lady still exists or not. I love your face.
The way you said that was just, yeah.
I don't know if she exists or not anymore as a marketer. She might be like...
You should have said it that way.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
It's or not sounds like you wanted her to die.
She also might be dead. I don't know if she's still alive. I saw her online once. And don't forget to have fun. Planning is all about, when you plan ahead, you have time to have some fun. And...
What about automation?
Oh, right, automation. Use automation, but use it smartly. So you can use tools like Buffer, Meet Edgar, Loomly, Hootsuite, blah, blah, blah. You can use all of those tools to automate your posts in October for that one event, or the whole week or the whole year if you wanted to. But make sure you use it really smartly. So making sure that you're still checking in on a daily basis, and it takes 5 to 10 minutes to check in to see if you have any engagement. And then use some of that time also to engage with your followers or people that you're following. So what is automation? When you schedule a post in a social media dashboard and then it publishes it on your behalf at a specific time or specific date, on specific date. That's what automation is, Andre. I feel like you know this and you're just being rude.
I was going to put mom in the comments. I was like, no, don't do it.
Co-schedule I've been looking at recently, and I love it. It's just not within like ideal for my budget, but I really like co-schedule. There's just like so many different tools you can use for, like, I use Tailwind for Pinterest, or I have been using it. I haven't used it recently because I haven't been not lazy enough to schedule that out. But there's like all different types of plans or services you can use for automation, and then making sure that if you took an hour to write a blog post, you're promoting it more than once. And if you spent an hour writing a blog post, how can you repurpose that blog post? Can you film it? Can you make a video from that blog post? Can you make it into a podcast episode? Can you cut it up into different snippets and make like those images with quotes on them or something? How can you stretch your dollar or your time investment the most from that 1 hour you dedicated to that blog post? Ameet, tell us about your newsletter.
It comes out once a month on the 1st, or whatever the first Monday is, really. So this one is going to provide tons of value again, because they always do.
What's it about, this one? PPC, but like...
This one, I think, will be going over several bidding strategies. So it's going to be part of a 3 email series.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm very
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to read it. I'm going to print it out and put it up in my bedroom.
Are you actually going to read it, or are you just going to skim it like the last one?
I'll read it.
Okay, good.
Maybe. I'll get someone to read it to me. Just kidding.
If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, it's a link in my bio, so you can do that.
Go subscribe. It's definitely helpful if you want to learn about PPC. There's like no PPC people. Ameet is a rare butterfly in this industry. She's actually the caterpillar. So, ugly caterpillar.
That's turned into the most beautiful butterfly, so suck it.
Yeah, still waiting for that to happen.
I'm already there.
We've moved Marketing Beat, can I say this, permanently?
Yeah,
to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Wednesdays, just because we found 11 works better for most of our audience. And you can find replays of each episode on YouTube every Tuesday, but they're there, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can find the link in our bios, and we cut out all of the bullshit of us talking, so you get just like the pure value and none of our banter.
Yeah, it's condensed down. So it's less
welcome.
fun, but a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Which I guess is something some people want.
Boring people.
Yeah, really, straight up. Also,
anything else?
Next week, I'll be talking about 3 paid strategies for small businesses. So last week I did corporate. Next week I'll do social media. And 2 weeks from now, I'll be doing NPOs because good fun.
Wait. Last week you did corporate. Next week you're doing social media, and then
small business.
You said social media.
Oh, yes. Small business.
So next week we're going to talk paid strategies for small businesses.
Small businesses, yeah.
Right. Okay. Just making sure. I wanted to confirm. So everyone who owns a small business, make sure you join us next week at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on AdWords Girls Live. But if you follow me as well, you'll get a notification because I'll be there present and listening as well.
Perfect.
Thanks for joining us. See you next Wednesday at 11 Mountain Standard Time. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.